Well, hello everyone and welcome back to 48 Now. I'm digital host AJ Wiest, and the Hauntsville Film Festival is coming to town this weekend. It is coming to the Stone Event Center in Campus 805. And today I am joined with Festival Director Kitty. Kitty, how are you doing today?
Stressed and excited.
I'd imagine so.
We're in crunch time now, so
That's right.
The pressure is on, the excitement is building, and I'm so ready for this weekend to happen and for everyone to see these amazing films.
Yes. It sounds like it's going to be an incredible event. First, can you share your own personal experience in film and your own personal story? What got you involved?
Yeah, well, I'll talk specifically about horror films because that directly relates to why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Mm-hmm. I saw horror films when I was a little young. My dad would come and get me, and we would watch the coolest, probably two scary films. And one of my earliest memories about film is watching Poltergeist.
Oh. I
was blonde. I had, bright light eyes, and she looked just like me. And it scared the heck out of me when I was little. That chair scene, every time I walked in my kitchen, I expected that to happen. And I couldn't sleep without a light on for probably 6 months. And it was thrilling. I loved it. And so he introduced me to all these films, especially like The Thing and Alien, which is my favorite film ever. And it was something we did to bond. And, he technically, he adopted me. My mom was a single mom for a long time. And it was something we kind of did to build a relationship. So I have really good memories of horror films, even though I couldn't sleep without a light on. But it was something I really enjoyed doing. And then as you get older, I've noticed, and this is kind of where this whole group that we have in Hauntsville started, is horror film brings people together. You don't go to your buddy and say, hey, let's go see that rom-com that came out this weekend.
No.
That doesn't bring people together. But if you text everybody and say, hey, there's that scary movie that came out, like, let's all go see that. Everybody wants to come see it. So it's like a natural building of like people, like a community. Instantly people want to go see. It might not even be your favorite genre, but people show up for it. There's something about gathering and getting a little spooked that's kind of bonding. And that's how you are with horror films growing up. It's like, as teenagers, everybody likes to go see a little spooky movie together. It's thrilling. So just developing that as you grow, it just brings people together. So I grew up watching horror films. I love horror. It was just something very instant for me. And as I've gotten older, I have been able to use, my experience watching a million horror films in different ways. And recently, I've been able to do some guest programming in different independent cinemas around the South, more specifically Sidewalk down in Birmingham, which I'm a huge fan of. We love Sidewalk. They recently had their film festival, and I had the honor of picking some of the horror movies, specifically one that I'm so proud of. They loved it so much that I was able to introduce it and put it out there on a Saturday night primetime spot at Alabama Theater. And so to have that kind of recognition and acknowledgement for a feminist horror film was huge. So I've been doing, screening some films, doing guest programming, and of course running Hello Hauntsville Horror, which is the community and organization here in North Alabama that kind of brings all of the horror events together.
Very cool.
Thank you.
That is incredible. And I love how you said like horror film really brings communities together. A few weeks ago, our IT guy came up to me. He's like, dude, we got to go see The Substance.
Yeah.
Which is, Brent,
yes.
I'm sure you can talk about The Substance a little bit.
It's incredible. We actually, I had my eye on it for a long time. And it's obviously made by women, starring women, about women. So we were pumped. So I actually went to AMC and we got it early. And we rented out a theater for my birthday. And we packed the theater and everybody went and saw The Substance. And it was a 2 thumbs up from everybody. It's one of those where even people that don't like, because it is extreme body horror. It's a genre that isn't a crowd pleaser. It's pretty extreme, not a normal thing, even with horror movies. But everybody came, showed up, gave it a try. Nobody walked out. And it was just, everybody loved it. The storyline is so great. Talking about ageism, especially in Hollywood, but just the pressures that women have nowadays to look perfect, to age perfect, to perform perfect. It's such a beautiful representation of that in the film. And Demi Moore, chef's kiss.
Okay.
Chef's kiss. She's incredible. Something kind of funny about it was on my way out, I heard a couple people talking about the film. And of course, her co-star, beautiful. Shows like perfection. She is perfection in the movie. Her body is perfect. Everything. She's supposed to be super sexy and everything. But the crowd, the little group was talking and they said, Demi Moore was so much hotter. And I thought that is so cool because in Hollywood, you know, she's a dinosaur. Right. And yet crowds are coming out of this movie being like, Demi Moore is so hot. So I loved the movie. And I mean, we thought it was only going to screen for like a weekend. We were like, oh, it's going to be a blip. And instead, it's the biggest film in horror right now. Right. So its success is showing also that we should be funding like movies made by women and to see their viewpoints also. So it's, if you haven't seen it, you should.
I definitely have to go see it. Yeah, Jareth and IT, I got to go with him sometime.
Yeah, it's great.
It sounds super exciting, and you further hyped it up.
Yeah,
so I have to.
It's incredible. It's really good.
And speaking of like women-produced films, obviously the Hauntsville Film Fest is the only woman-run horror film festival here in the Southeast.
Yes.
Can you talk a bit about the obstacles many women have to face here in the film industry?
Yeah, actually, when kind of the genesis of doing Hello Huntsville Horror, we always have gathered, we've always done, you know, events and things, and we started doing screenings together, and it kind of evolved into like, oh, we're going to do it in the backyard. Oh, we're going to get a better projector. Oh, we should get better speakers. And, you know, we were doing bigger things and, oh, we need a bigger venue. And so we happened into our film festival last year. And this year, I decided to do only films written, produced, or directed by female presenting or non-binary people. And I thought, oh, that's just a decision I make. You just choose it and do it. I did not have any, I didn't fathom how difficult it would be. I didn't think it was going to be like super easy, but it was going to be like flipping a switch. You just choose to do it. Oh, well, now I just select films from this category. It has been like pulling teeth, trying to find films. And not just find them, but you have to like work with film distributors and production companies and filmmakers, and it's incredibly difficult. So some of the top festivals in the country, in the world, for this year alone, will have like 20-something films in like, you know, in their categories, and like 3 will be made by women. So the selection is just minuscule. And then from that selection, then you have to go try to, you know, get these films. It's been so difficult. I did the thing where you email everybody, huge films. And my idea was that I would just have my name be seen. They're not going to respond. They're going to say no. But maybe next year, maybe the next year, they'll see my name every year. Maybe in 5 years, we'll finally get a film. I did not anticipate getting all the films. And so it's been really amazing to have that accomplished.
Yeah.
But I think people recognize that Alabama, specifically Hauntsville, the community needs to have films like this seen, to have them screened, specifically by a woman, for a community that is struggling with women's issues. But it's been a real struggle. So in the South, I travel. Obviously, I do guest programming. I go to events. I go to conventions. I go to film festivals. And I notice that it's dominated. It's very male-dominated. And they like to speak down to women. I got so many comments about, well, you haven't seen this film. You don't really know what you're doing. Or, you know, as soon as a switch happens, it's just, you're dumb. And so I wanted to bring back to Hauntsville an empowerment for not just women, but any kind of underrepresented community.
Yeah.
Because if I'm struggling, and I'm a very independent person, kind of, I know how to stand up for myself. And I was like, if I'm having trouble with this, imagine all the people that are just getting into horror. They're not going to be welcome, and they're going to just walk out. So it's been a real struggle to try to build this, stand up for it, and then have it stand on its own.
Right.
You know, and I want Hauntsville to have that diverse community. So this festival has been a big step toward it.
It sounds like it. In your inaugural event last year, I believe over 500 people attended.
Yeah.
How many are you expecting this year?
So it's a free event. I am very proud to say that this is free. We want to keep horror really accessible. So it's very difficult to put numbers on things because we don't sell tickets. I don't have a head count,
You
but
can't count every head.
yeah,
Right.
but I am praying and hoping that as many eyes as possible can see these films. I would love for there to be more than last year. I think there is a hype there. I think there's a proof of concept. Everywhere I go, people are excited about this. I have people coming from Atlanta and Nashville and Birmingham, staying the night in hotels, you know, like ready for the whole weekend. And I think it's reached a bigger, distance, and it's reaching all over the South. So I'm hoping that there's a bigger attendance just because of that. I have even like celebrities are talking about this. I've met different programming, like educational outreach in different cities. And the other day I went to Nashville to one of the theaters, and I met a musician up there that asked for like a bunch of flyers, and they wanted to know more, and they asked for stickers, and they were like, oh, we're gonna take this everywhere on tour with us. And there's so much buzz that I'm really hoping attendance is large. And I also want to go back to the filmmakers and say, your film was seen. Your film was seen here. Thank you for letting us screen this. It was seen. It has an impact. So everybody come.
Yes, it's a
Everybody
free event,
come.
no excuses. Yes.
Everybody should come and see these incredible films.
That is awesome.
So cross your fingers that there's a big turnout.
And it sounds like, from what I hear, it's been going on even longer than just last year. Like,
Yes.
you've been putting on this event for a good while now.
Yeah. Like I mentioned, we just started small, out of a theater. We'd all meet for, the premiere of the newest horror film.
Yes.
Hey, Thursday nights, that's premiere night. Okay, the new film's coming out. We just naturally go. And that, we were doing that for a long time. And like I mentioned, we bought a projector. Or we were out of living rooms first, and then we bought a projector, and then we bought a professional projector, and then we bought a professional screen, and then a bigger screen, and then a speaker, and then 2 speakers. And we just kind of started upgrading like every year. And then last year, I was talking about my annual epic Halloween party, and that it had gotten too big. It got too big. I couldn't fit it in my little 5 Points historic house anymore. because I didn't want to exclude people that we had built into our community. So a friend kind of jokingly said, you should have it at Jeff and Blues at Orion. And then that joke wasn't a joke anymore. And then we were like, well, what about a screening along with that party? Well, what about a whole night of screenings? Okay, well, what about 2 nights? Well, what about a whole film festival? And it was born. Hauntsville was born. And we had it at Orion. It was 2 nights of double features. We had so much going on. It was such a huge success just for the first year. It was amazing. There were so many people there. The turnout was incredible. Everybody was so happy that it just happenstance. It just was like natural. So this year, it was just, of course we're doing a second year. Of course.
You have to.
Naturally, right?
You have to.
But we started from scratch this year because we decided we want more movies. We need it inside. So Saturday, there's a Friday night kickoff party, female DJ, a screening. We have a VHS market happening. We have, activities. We have, a bar going on. We have installation. We have photo ops, whole 9 yards happening on Friday night. And we are screening. I can legally say now, the announcement, we are screening the ultimate film bro movie, a movie that men think is their favorite movie. It's actually written and directed by women. It's American Psycho. Yeah, it's incredible.
Realize that.
Yeah. Everybody, when I tell people, they're like, it was made by women. It's so brilliant. I did a piece for publication the other day, and it's just lovely. It's so good. So that'll be a great kickoff night. But Saturday, we're starting early and going all day. We're starting with like a little shorts block, and then we have 5 feature films, like bang, 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 and every single one of them is a festival circuit film. I think all but one has never been seen in the South. Wow. None of them have been screened in the South. This is our opportunity to see them. Huntsville should be so proud to have these films. Yeah. These are incredible films to be screened in Huntsville, Alabama. I've searched. These weren't Plan A. These were not Plan B. These were not Plan C. These were pie in the sky, and we're getting them.
That's exciting! Wow.
So I'm very excited about them.
Where all have they been screened? Which regions?
So, should I talk about each one, or would you like to segue into that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Let's talk about the different films.
Yeah, because each one is. There's a difference between each one because they're all over the place. So again, we're starting with shorts. Those are kind of all over the place. But our day block is called Going to the Cats and Dogs. Okay. Our first film is called My Animal. And it's a very current film. It's about lesbian werewolves. It's a romance horror, which is kind of rare in the genre. I love a good romance horror. It's very off the wall. It's really incredibly funny, heartwarming. The lighting, the cinematography is very beautiful, rich in tone and texture. If you've ever seen Ginger Snaps, it is Ginger Snaps' cousin. Okay. We screened Ginger Snaps 2 summers ago. It was a big hit. So anyone that saw that and came to that screening, definitely come to this one. But it's lovely. That has had 1 screening in Atlanta, but has not been screened anywhere else. And that was very limited. I think it was only a few days, and it was gone. It was pretty much only for the people that have been in it. And that is also a Canadian-made film, which Ginger Snaps was also Canadian. So we also have one of my favorite, they're all my favorite. There's a reason I picked them. But one of them that I'm very much looking forward to bring to Huntsville, it's a Malaysian horror film, which we're going international. Okay. We got subtitles, everybody. Get ready. But it is called Tiger Stripes. It's an incredibly not heartwarming, but difficult But at the end, there's a lot of, it's a feeling film. It's about some schoolgirls, and one of them gets her period early. And she is dealing with the changes in her body and social standing, because this is a different region, different religion. They have different thoughts on what happens when the changes start. And she is bullied and harassed for getting it so early. Her friends turn on her. Her mother treats her differently. Her father treats her differently. She isn't even allowed to pray with her classmates. She starts noticing things. Well, she can't talk to anybody about these changes. There's no one to talk to. And she's like, I don't know if these are normal things happening to me or not. But they start to get kind of extreme. And she's like, this can't be normal. Well, she's turning into a tiger. So the film surrounds the idea of what does she do with that power? Mm-hmm. It's incredible. It won a giant Critics Award at Cannes Film Festival. It's actually won an incredible amount of awards. The fact that we are getting this in Hauntsville is a huge honor. We should be backing this film. We should be supporting this film. This is something that has not been screened anywhere in our region, and we are getting it.
Let's go.
Yes. Please come out and see that one to support it. It is extremely different. It's very low on the horror scale. It's more unsettling, uncomfortable, and thought-provoking. But then we move into what I call my big sink, my heavy hitter. This one is extremely new. It is headlining major film festivals across the United States. Basically brand new. And we are getting it. It should be headlining. It is that big of a film. It is called Booger. And Booger is the name of a cat. It is about a cat. Okay. A girl is grieving the loss of her best friend. And they had a cat together. And that cat bit her. And she starts noticing changes also, hairballs and all. And so it is about her processing that loss and trauma and grief while also turning into a cat. And so what happens? How does she heal from that? And also, what is she doing with becoming a cat? How does that work? And what happens? It's an incredible film. Also, we just have so many. Come see Booger. It's kind of slightly body horror, not too severe, but it's a dark comedy. It's very witty. There's so many laughs behind it, but they're very dark laughs. Again, another one that Hauntsville should be extremely proud to be getting and has not screened anywhere near us. This is something brand new. You can see it first in the South here in Hauntsville. Okay. And then we move into our night block, which I'm extremely proud of. Into our anchor film, we have a lead into our anchor film. It's called T-Blockers. It was written by a 17-year-old transgender young adult, and it's Australian. It's probably one of the most extreme films we have. I say that like in a very light tone. It's kind of splatterpunk, kind of vigilante humor. It's written by a 17-year-old, so you get to see a viewpoint that is probably very different from your own.
Right.
And I love listening to diverse voices, things you normally, like that's not something you would turn on the TV. You wouldn't sit down and say, I'm going to watch this. This is something that isn't really funded. These are things that we don't just see in movie theaters. You don't go to a movie theater and see this. So I'm really, really excited to bring this to Hauntsville. It's funny. It is so funny. A 17-year-old has wit. You've got to admit, they have sharp tongues. They can get you. Their humor is unimaginable. Any of you that have teenagers can probably attest to this. They can get you sometimes. Like their humor is, And again, the cinematography and lighting lends itself to our anchor film, our Hauntsville premiere of what I think is the best film of the year. And we are able to have it in Hauntsville. It is I Saw the TV Glow. Anyone who wanted to see it this year had to travel to see it. Hauntsville was supposed to get it. We had posters, we had trailers, and we never received it. They did not think it would do well in our market. It is also done by a trans, feminine, non-binary filmmaker. And I love seeing, again, a different viewpoint, but in a horror film. This is actually rated PG-13. I think the level of horror is pretty low. It's more uncomfortable, unsettling, devastating, honestly. It's very heavy, but spooky. Very spooky, very dark. The lighting and cinematography is award-winning. The soundtrack is the best film soundtrack to come out in years. It is amazing. In fact, we are doing an album listening party earlier in the day of the soundtrack. So if you just want to come listen to it and have some little light snacks and have some tunes, you can come hear that before the movie premiere later in the night. I'm overwhelmed that we get to premiere this movie. It is so special. It will go down in history in horror film. It does so many innovative things. It just isn't something that is funded. And I really hope that Hauntsville can come see it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And can you talk about why it's super important here in the state of Alabama?
Yeah.
For people to come see these films written by a multitude of diverse voices.
Yes. Femme and queer horror is underfunded in general. All across the world. It's very difficult for them to get funding. Like I mentioned, festivals have so many films and then 3 will be made by women. Hauntsville in the South, it's even slimmer. We then do not get screenings, not even just funding, but then we don't get screenings of these things. Like I said, I Saw the TV Glow was basically promised to us and then yanked off the market. We don't get access to these things. We have a political climate here in North Alabama, in Alabama in general, in the South in general, where we are not given access to things that I think would help open some minds about certain viewpoints, diverse voices that don't get to be seen. So I think this festival is very important to showcase these voices, these viewpoints, because we don't have an opportunity for that. You can, of course, watch them when they go on streaming. Some of them don't go on streaming. They're, in little independent festival films that also don't get funding enough to even be picked up. But to see things in cinema with a crowd, it's a transcendent experience sometimes. Like when I saw the TV Glow and I traveled to see it premiere night with a crowd of people that were all really wanting to have an experience with this, it was so overwhelming emotionally, and it was really beautiful, and I want Hauntsville to be able to have that.
Right.
And we aren't able to have those experiences here because we are kind of taken back from those. We are not allowed to have those viewpoints because they don't think that the market will do well here. They just think they're touchy subjects. When in reality, if we were allowed to see these things, a lot of them are just day-to-day things that women deal with, or anyone that's gender nonconforming, or even just people. These are just people. So they're just life things. For example, tiger stripes. That is something every single anyone that lives as a female presenting or it's so frustrating. They're just periods. But the word period or anything surrounding period is a touchy subject.
Right.
It's just a touchy subject. So we aren't given access to these things, and we should be. We should have these. We should have these films. Film is a good medium to transport people to other places in the world that we aren't able to go. I've been all over the world. I've been all over history. I've seen all people through their eyes, through film. And I wish everybody had access to that.
Absolutely. I see you brought the poster for the film fest in. Awesome. Look at that. Look at that. you printed out shirts.
Yes,
I'm thinking about
yes.
getting one of those shirts
Yes.
because that is just an awesome graphic.
We will also have merch at the festival, so you can buy it while you're there.
Yes. What went into that graphic? Like,
we actually had Hauntsville Illustrated support us with graphics. They are also doing all the merch for us. And the designer is also female, which we're trying to support as much as possible by hiring like female DJs. We've had the female graphic designers. We've had any company that we can work with that is woman-owned or in any way related to woman-owned, gender non-conforming, anything we can. We're trying to support those businesses. I think it's really cool. A lot of the artists that we have at the markets are under that umbrella, and any of the guests we have fall under that umbrella. It's just really cool to try to support that in the community in general.
Absolutely. And what are some other need-to-know details that we need to know before we show up?
So Friday is, like I mentioned, a kickoff night. So it is an evening experience. And then Saturday does start in the morning. The schedule comes out tomorrow. So you can get exact times on our website, which is hauntsvillefilmfest.com. We also are on, Facebook, Instagram, but that can all be accessed through the website. So you can get all the details, all the nitty gritty. But mostly it's at Stone Event Center, like you mentioned, which is at Campus 805. You can come in through any entrance. We will have signs. You'll be able to find us. Believe me, you'll see us. We're going to be spread out through hallways and through the giant event center. There'll be signs. So don't worry about trying to find us. But the main lobby is probably the easiest way to access. Basically, it's free. You come, you enjoy. If you would like to come just for one movie, you're welcome to. You can come in and out all weekend. You'll get a wristband. And again, free, so don't worry about that. But just come in and out, enjoy. You're welcome to go to Straight to Ale or Hops and Guac or any of the places there and bring food in. We're gonna have some tables where you can just stand and eat food. There'll be 2 screens. So if you don't feel like you wanna sit permanently and like really watch the movie, if you just wanna eat or like get a drink in the back and like visit, you're welcome to do that. So there is, it's casual also. But you can just come in and out as needed. There is no outside alcohol because we do have a separate liquor license, but feel comfortable to bring food in. Like if you want to bring your own food in, you're welcome to do that. You can come bring blankets and come picnic style. There's all varying degrees of how you want to view these films. So don't feel like the word film festival strikes you as a very serious or stuffy experience. We want you to be able to come and just feel welcome and view these films in come as you are situation. But it'll be coming all day Saturday from the morning all the way to the night. Just, films back to back. There will also be an artist market. There'll be a special guest, the album listening party like I mentioned. There'll be some activities to do, some photo ops. So you'll be busy. If you just want to come for some of the separate events, you're also welcome to do that. Just come visit, see what's going on.
That's right. It sounds like it's more than just the film festival.
Very much so. We've got a lot going on.
And, I know not just because it's Halloween, the horror films here in Huntsville, they're year round.
Yes, yes.
Hello Huntsville or Hello Horror Huntsville.
Yeah. Hello Hauntsville Horror. We do, it's a tongue twister. Yes, we do monthly screenings all through the year. Those are donation based. So again, we're trying to keep horror accessible. I feel like horror is not very beginner friendly. So we want to keep it where there's no gamble. If you like the film, you can come try it. You can leave. If you don't like it, try the next month. We try to have a varying degree of genres. You may not like a slasher, but you may like a psychological thriller. We've even done Coraline. So you can try different things with no pressure. That you didn't pay $25 to get in or something. You can just try it, dip your toe in. But we would love donations, of course, because that's how we keep running. But we also do mini events. For example, a couple months ago, we took over a drive-in. And we did Camp Hauntsville, a summer camp.
Ooh.
So we had summer camp games and activities and cool vintage summer camp merch. And We had big raffle and silent auction. It was an incredible night. You know, the best part of a drive-in is the drive-in food.
Yes.
The drive-in had fried pickles and fried Oreos that will knock your socks off.
I'm sad I missed it.
Oh my gosh. It's the drive-in is Highway 50. It's about an hour from here up in Tennessee.
Yeah.
But they opened in 1950 and they're one of the oldest like in the entire region. They're just a single screen. So quaint, charming. It's like almost all original. Again, their concession stand is mind-blowing. It's so good. I get cravings just for the food. But definitely go up to Highway 50, regardless if it's with us or not. It's an incredible place.
Okay. Well, Kitty, that's all the questions I have. But thank you so much for coming in.
Of course.
And if maybe I missed something that you'd also like to add, feel free. But yeah, thank you.
I just really hope that everyone comes out and enjoys these films that we were able to bring to Hauntsville. You should be proud of your city that we were able to have these films brought here. And I hope that everyone can come enjoy them.
Awesome.